Hey, y'all. So I wanted to hop on here really quick today and share with you a lesson we learned while at our Moji Life leadership retreat this last weekend. So a guy came in. He's an awesome dude. He came in and he's like, okay, we're going to write a few things on this ball. So spiritual, physical, intellectual, emotional, social, and financial. And he's like, if you could just change one thing in one of these areas, what would it be? And what would it do? And how would it affect and shape your life? How would it bless your life? Like, he's like, just think. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, well, spiritual, I'll be honest, I've been struggling there. So I don't know the answer to that. Physical, super frustrated and struggling there too. I will get into that in a moment. Intellectual, I am constantly working on the intellectual. I love to learn and grow. I'm a huge believer in personal development. I do that on a daily, regular basis. I would love to count. I need to count. I have probably read over 150 books in the last 2 or 3 years. And so I love the intellectual. I'm always learning. Emotional, I've been a mess and don't have an answer for that yet. But I also am very aware. I feel like it's important to have an awareness. Social, I love the social, and I have become very protective about what time I spend with who. And then financial. Now there's always something there with the financial, but I'm like, okay, so we did talk about the financial and we're like, saving money, sure, that's great, and doing this or doing that, but he's like one thing, one actionable thing. And so I decided I'm going to do the financial. I deleted the Amazon app off my phone, which is huge. And it's so funny, the many times, I just did this 3 or 4 days ago, and I've had about 3 or 4 times where my kids are like, Mom, where's the Amazon app? Mom, where is it? And there's been even a couple times where I'm like, oh, I'll just hop on Amazon. It's not there. And yes, I could still go to the website. I could still do that. But I do think when you have to actually log in and take the time, you kind of rethink, is this a need or a want, right? Back to the spiritual and physical. And emotional. Sorry. So, as a lot of you know, I was doing 75 hard, and I say was. I didn't quit. I've made an adjustment. I went 34 days, and for about 2 of those weeks, I was just ornery and angry and frustrated, and I couldn't figure out why, and I still honestly don't know why. One of my friends, she's like, it's the sugar! You need to get back on the sugar! I've been doing a sugar challenge with my kids since the beginning of September, and what it is you can't have anything more than 11 grams of sugar in a day. And you'd be surprised how many things are just over 11 grams of sugar. Some are 12, some are 13. But I'm not a big sugar eater, and so I feel firmly that that's not what it is. And I've been doing that for long enough. And we have enough cheat days, so you're allowed to cheat on holidays and family birthdays. And we've had a lot of family birthdays. So I don't feel like that's it. But I think the stress of working in those 2 workouts and drinking all the water, a gallon of water, it's a lot. I had my leadership retreat, and I knew going in, I'm like, I'm going to have to, this is going to be tricky. And I did it. For Thursday and Friday, both days that we were at the retreat, I did it. I completed it. But then my friend asked me, does it bring you joy? And I'm like, no. It just stresses me out. I'm just super stressed out. And I don't know what I'm trying to prove or who I'm trying to prove it to, but then it gets better. So we haven't had a working scale in our home for probably 6+ months. And so the last time I weighed myself was at a doctor's appointment probably 3 months ago. And so I've been doing, the 34 days. I went 34 days doing 2 workouts a day, drinking tons of water, doing this no sugar challenge with my kids. And I fixed the scale. I found batteries. When I cleaned out my car console, I don't know how many of y'all saw that, but I had 7 pairs of sunglasses. Yeah, so in that, I had also 2 of these special batteries for the scale. So I hopped on Sunday. I was at least hoping, right, to lose 2 or 3 pounds. With all the work I've been doing, 2 or 3 pounds. It's really, honest to goodness, all I was hoping for. Nothing. Not 1 measly pound. And so I cried. I cried. I cried to Alan, and I've been crying for other reasons too. It's been a rough weekend. It sounds so pathetic. It's been a rough weekend, but I started crying, and yesterday I got on the phone with someone that I trust and someone that I know he does metabolic testing, and so I have an appointment tomorrow morning, and he's like, you're not alone. This is actually quite normal for people your age. And I'm like, people my age? I'm only 40. But really, it is discouraging, you guys, and I'm sure you can relate when you feel like you're putting in the work, you're putting in the time, you're putting in the effort, and no results. So instead of quit, I'm doing 75 medium. I'm just keeping where I was because I completed those 34 days, and I'm just making an adjustment because I need it for the sanity of my mental health and I'm not an angry person. I'm not an ornery person. I'm normally very happy and outgoing and positive, and I've been so negative and critical. That's not me. And so I just had to make that decision of this. Whatever it is I'm trying to prove, or whoever I'm trying to prove it to, is going to just have to take a little step back and moderate and modify. Modify is probably the better word. Anyway, you guys, in this life, we have so many things that we expect of ourselves, and we're often the hardest on ourselves. And then so if we're ever really super hard or critical on other people, really, hopefully people then go, and this is what I do. When someone's super negative or critical, I'm like, oh man, if they're that way with other people, imagine how they are to themselves. And so for the past few weeks, that's been me to myself. I got my relationship coaching certificate. And I'm so excited, and doing the whole program during the whole thing, I'm like, this is meant for me. I'm meant to do this. This is amazing. Like, this is stuff I love. This is stuff that excites me. This is stuff that I've been prepared for. I looked at so many different things that have gone on in the last 6-7 years of my life, and I'm like, this is what I've been being prepared for. And then Satan gets in my ear and says, you're not good enough. You're messed up. You've got relationships that don't work. Who's going to come to you? Who is going to be your client? And the other day I had a friend. This is where great friends come in so handy, you guys. If you don't have those safe spaces and those people that'll just tell you like it is and keep it real and keep it truthful, you need to find some. But she said, Shami, the fact that you've had failed relationships is going to make you better at this. You're going to be able to relate to people better. This is a gift. Satan's trying to tell you that this is a weakness. This is a gift. This is a strength. And so, you guys, it's all about our perspective. It's all about how we look at things. New levels, new devils. When we're trying to become better, when we're trying to do better, it's hard. It's hard. And I'm trying to do better. So I hope you guys, if you're willing to share, what maybe are you working on? What have you, maybe there's something in one of these, the emotional, intellectual, physical, spiritual, financial, social, maybe there's something on one of those that you're working on too. And it just has to be one thing. We often just think we need to change all these things at once. And guess what? It's better if you start with just one thing, make one thing, change in 1%. And where can you go from there? And then once that's figured out and once that's in a better place, what's one more thing? So I hope hope y'all are having a great start to your week. It is Tuesday, and I'll be honest, it kind of feels like a Monday. But I hope y'all have a good day, good week, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.